Hey everyone, this is Devan Edwards, aka Devan the Connector, connecting you, yes, you, to the knowledge that will empower yourself. And today, we're diving deep into a concept that's not only fascinating, but can truly reshape how we live our lives. So, we're talking about why I believe time is a structural experience and how empowering ourselves through accountability can drive meaningful change. So let's explore this together. We're going to be diving into psychology, philosophy, and even some quantum physics. So buckle up, it's going to be quite a journey. Okay, so time as a structural experience. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean, Devan? Okay, so let's start unpacking the idea of time as a structural experience. So when we typically think about time, we picture it as a linear progression, past, present, future. It's a sequence, right? But what if we consider time as a structural framework that shapes our experiences instead of merely a unit of measurement? It actually becomes the very fabric of our lives. And so you see, philosophers like Henri Bergson argue that time is not just the ticking of a clock, but it's something much deeper that he calls duration. And our duration is intertwined with our consciousness. It's about how we actually experience moments. This perspective allows us to see time as a multi-dimensional experience rather than a straight line. And isn't that just liberating? Like moments, bright moments. If you know, you know. So think about it. Every birthday, every sunset, every moment of laughter with your friends, with your family, they're woven into the fabric of time and space as our lived experiences. So they actually give structure to who we are and how we relate to the world around us. And I always say that structure denotes functionality. Like if you don't have structure, you won't be able to really function in your highest level, the best version of yourself. Okay. And so now we're going to be talking about reflecting on our relationship with time. Now, let's reflect. How often do we feel overwhelmed by time? So I might say some of the time, all the time. I haven't got time to think about the time that I'm overwhelmed with time. But you might feel like a hamster in a wheel running fast, but not really getting anywhere. And this is where many people lose sight of the structural aspect of time. It starts to control us rather than empower us. And in his book, I don't know if you read this, The Power of Now, by Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle? Wait, sorry if I got your name wrong. He emphasizes that living in the present moment and letting go of the past and future is actually a source of anxiety. And when we become trapped in that relentless cycle of waking up, working, consuming, and collapsing into bed, we miss out on the richness of our life experiences. And he says that by recognizing that time can by recognizing this, like we can know that time can be a structure that we build upon, and it's something that we start to reclaim our narrative, like, because our life is a story, and we're the narrators of our story, so we get to reclaim that. And so now this brings up the power of accountability. So let's pivot a bit. So when we understand the transformative power of accountability, we acknowledge that our relationship with time is fluid and structural, and we can take ownership of how we feel those moments. And that's where accountability becomes our greatest ally. And this is something that we actually embed within our program, our Empowered Life Performance Program, powered by the Total Freedom Network. Link in the bio if you want to check that out. And studies have shown that accountability partners can increase motivation and adherence to goals significantly. So, for example, a study published that in the Journal of Applied Psychology, people who had accountability measures in place were far more likely to complete tasks. So, how do we harness this power? So we begin by setting clear intentions for how you begin. I begin by setting clear intentions for how you want to spend your time. So consider that areas of your life where you want to bring more intentionality, whether it's prioritizing yourself with some self-care, drinking some tea, some coffee, pursuing a passion project, or committing to deeper relationships. Okay? So permit yourself, command yourself, give yourself permission to hold accountable not just your actions, but also how you use your time to align with your most authentic self. That is key. And now, of course, we delve into like some psychology and the philosophy around this. But here's something that's really gonna get you thinking, and that's the quantum perspective of time. So, as I said, time is a structural experience, and I got this from this understanding from just reading a lot around quantum biology, quantum physics, quantum mechanics, and our world is a holographic universe. But let me not go too far. Let's take a moment to step into the realm of science, specifically quantum physics. So when we examine time through this lens, we realize that it might not be as straightforward as it appears. So in quantum mechanics, time is often viewed differently than in the classical sense. And there's a famous physicist known as Carlo Rovelli, and he suggests that in his book, it's called The Order of Time, that time may not even exist in a single linear form, as I mentioned earlier. Instead, he argues that this is an emergent property of the interactions of particles. This could mean that our perception of past, present, and future is intertwined and fluid. So imagine this. Imagine this as weaving threads of experience into a tapestry, like you're creating a masterpiece. And each moment contributes to the whole, yet they're not isolated. So every choice that you make, every action that you take is influenced by the timeless fabric of interactions. This perspective allows us to be more mindful about our experiences and remind us that every moment is interconnected and holds potential. So don't waste the moment, because there's energy in each moment that you bring and that you focus on. Okay? And so this leads us towards crafting a time-filled life. So we become timeless by a structure, by crafting a time-filled life. So how do we take this understanding of time and use it to craft a meaningful life? I'm going to give you one practical strategy, okay? I call this creating your time philosophy. And so start by identifying your core values and the things that matter most to you. I'm going to say that again. Start by identifying your core values and the things that matter most to you. Then, intentionally carve out time in your week dedicated to those values. This may include personal development, hobbies, or simply unplugging from the digital chaos just to breathe and be present. And so by doing this, you're not just filling your time, you're structuring it around what gives your life meaning. And this is something we present with our Prioritize and Thrive worksheet, free worksheet that you can download. And it's just to get you to start that journey of really structuring what matters most to you. Okay? And so now I challenge you. How can you redefine your experience of time? Ask yourself, how can accountability empower your life and give you a greater sense of agency? Start reflecting on these questions today, and remember, time is a canvas and you are the artist. So paint it with intention, purpose, and authenticity. Okay? And if this resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear how you plan to reclaim your time. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights on creating a meaningful life, an empowered life. And until the next time, Keep creating your masterpiece. This is Divine Edwards, aka Divine the Connector, connecting you to the knowledge that will empower yourself. Stay empowered, and just remember, the connection continues. Take it.